Welcome to the Geek Lounge. Today we have nerd news, and we're going to talk with artist-illustrators Ken Lemoog and Daniel Blodgett and discuss their projects. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is the Geek Lounge.
Welcome back once again, everybody, to the Geek Lounge. If you want to follow us while we're doing the show, you can do so on Facebook at the Geek Lounge or on Twitter at Geek_Lounge. Or if you want to listen to our archives, you can do so at VegasAllNetRadio.com, where you'll find our show and a bunch of other shows.
That's right.
That are on there. Yep. This episode is brought to you by the Sci-Fi Center. The Sci-Fi Center has multiple screenings of science fiction, fantasy, and horror, located at 600 East Sahara Avenue 13. You can give them a call at 792-GEEK. That's 792-4335. Area code 702 for people who don't live around here. I forgot the area code.
Well, now even local in a few weeks. Got to put 702 even local calls.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. Real quick, I know I had put on Facebook and Twitter that we are going to make a major announcement concerning our future. Yep. And that major announcement is here.
It is here.
It is here. We will no longer be part of the Vegas All-Net radio station. We're going to kind of go our own separate way. We'll still have shows. We're not going away.
That is true, yep.
We'll be posting all of our new shows on our website, geekata.com, which is spelled GEEKATA.com. It's still under construction.
Yes,
we're going to get it done.
Yep.
We're going to put all of our older shows that we have from the station. We're going to put them on there so you can go back and listen to the first episode that I'm going to George Lucas. I'm going to do it. I'm going to George Lucas it. I'm going to go back and add sound effects and edit everything.
You won't butt touch it.
I'm going to touch my butt and get to it.
We're going to take those guns we were holding and CGI them out and put in radios.
Yeah. Put in radios, all that good stuff. I'm going to shoot Munch first.
Correct, yes. I heard that change was coming.
Yeah. Munch shot at me, but that's not really what happened. I shot at him
We're going to CGI unnecessary rocks in front of D-Box.
Yeah.
And I'm going to scream in parts that I didn't normally scream at.
No! Add random people talking in the back.
Correct.
Just stuff that doesn't fit in what we're doing.
Droids, stuff like that,
yeah, so we'll be taking off from the station. This is going to be our last month, so it's going to be like, what, 3 more shows?
Well, we're going to be here next week, but then the week after we're actually going to be at WonderCon.
Yeah.
And then the week after
will be our last. Will be the last show.
Yeah.
And we're going to stop right at show 100. We're like our
100th show. We'll be here. Yeah.
Like a comic book, we will start over again with new writers and new artists.
Yeah. And new content. We're going to have
different
things going on.
A bunch of different stuff.
It's actually pretty exciting.
I know, I'm so excited.
It is exciting. Yeah.
I can't wait to start doing all this stuff, but that won't be a month from now, but I figure we'll let you guys know right now.
Geekata.com. GEEKATA.com. Check it out. Let us know what you think. It's kind of in its flux stage, but that's okay.
It'll be up soon, and after that, we'll be able to post all of our stuff there.
Yeah, and we want people to look at it and go, that looks horrible, or that looks not quite horrible.
We want you to look at it, is what we're saying.
Yes,
look at the website.
Look at me.
So,
notice.
Anyway, it's kind of sad. It's kind of a bittersweet news.
Yeah.
But at least we get to 100 episodes. I mean,
yeah. We are losing some things by leaving here, but we're also gaining some things.
Stuff, yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't an easy decision.
No. So anyway, you'll be able to listen to all our new shows there, and like I said, we'll have all of our archives there too.
Correct.
So again, listen to that very bad first episode.
I did finally. I did.
Did you listen to it? How was it?
Yay!
That's all you need to say.
You seem nervous.
Well, it was okay.
Nervous.
It wasn't as bad as you led me to believe, though. I will say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But you did sound nervous, and we're talking very quickly.
Yeah. It was. We had the jitters. We had the jeters.
Yeah.
Bit of the jeters. So yeah. Well, good. I'm glad it wasn't as bad as I said it was.
That's the
best compliment. That's the best compliment I could hear about the first episode. Like, it's not as bad as you said it was. Like, oh, well, good. I'm not expecting you to say it was like something fantastic. It should have won an award, but But like, yeah, it's not as bad as you said.
Let's not get all crazy.
No. Right. I mean, that's what my mom would say. Oh, you should have won an award. Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
I zoned in and out as I was doing laundry.
Yeah.
I heard you.
Yeah.
Is it?
Heard your voice.
Do anything exciting over the last couple weeks?
Exciting? No. Shocking? Yes. Well, I didn't do anything shocking. We watched something shocking. We watched.
I wouldn't say shocking.
That's right.
It was fairly shocking. It was. Yeah, we watched a cannibal double feature.
At the Sci-Fi Center, right?
At the Sci-Fi Center, yeah. And I gotta say, it was horrifying.
Disturbing.
Yeah, horrifyingly entertaining. If there weren't more people there, we would have probably talked to it. We probably would have riffed it. Just straight riffed that movie, because there was a lot to be riffed there.
Cannibal Holocaust, the notorious Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, that Cannibal Holocaust was one of the movies, and then the other one was like King of Cannibal Mountain? Yeah, something like that. It had Stacy Keach in it, which I barely recognized. I was like, is that Stacy Keach? That is Stacy Keach.
He was like 22.
Yeah.
Fresh out of college or something.
He died pretty abruptly in that movie. He just kind of...
It's because they can only afford him for 3 days of shooting.
Oh, is that why?
I don't know.
And then you just die.
I have no idea, yeah. They just needed that name on the marquee.
Yeah, but it was, I don't know, it was pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
Like, when you watch that kind of stuff, like, in movies nowadays, when they really try to be, like, awful, it's almost not as bad as when you watch the old stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if they were to make a cannibal movie now, it probably wouldn't be as,
cheesy.
like... Yeah, it probably wouldn't be as...
cheesy.
To me, anyway.
Well, yeah,
back
then they seemed to just really revel in sort... Or maybe they didn't know any better. They sort of reveled in that sort of raw, almost visceral take on it.
Right.
But now it's almost like there has to be some sense of tongue-in-cheek or nod to the friggin' and wink to the audience or something. Yeah. Very few things are truly disturbing anymore in film.
Yeah, but those movies...
Unless it's really independent.
Right.
Yeah.
But those movies, they got really awkward.
You.
At the end of the first one, the King of Cannibal... Is that what it's called?
King of Cannibal Mountain.
King of Cannibal Mountain. At the end of that, I'm not going to say too much, because it's not for any younger viewers who are listening, but they... Oh, God, stop. But the worst part about that is, I'm just going to say real quick, that it didn't make any noise. The animal made no noise.
So Ned Beatty was a better pig squealer than the pig.
Yeah. Either that or the guys just sucked. The dude just sucked.
Pig was like, yeah, whatever.
Should I just say, it's all last month, whatever. Some dude made love to an animal, and the animal made no noise.
The animal's like, just get it on.
Yeah, the animal's like, what's going on back there? I got flies back there? What's going on? It was really gross. Yeah, and it got pretty awkward sitting there.
Graphic.
It got fairly graphic, yeah. But,
must not adjust my pants. Everyone will think I'm excited.
Right? And that's what I was thinking, too. Like, I got to watch my movements. I can't just go to the bathroom because they get the wrong idea. You know, like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, sure you do, pal.
And I really did need to go to the bathroom. That was the worst part. Like, at that point, I was like, I gotta go pee, but people can get the wrong idea if I'm just like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
There was only 2 other people there, me and one other person.
Yeah.
They didn't care about you.
Wow.
I don't know. I just didn't want to get the wrong idea.
Nice.
Because she could show up again, and then the next I was like, oh, hey, there's that
it's
guy.
that dude.
Yeah, let me tell you about that guy. We watched this really horrible scene at the end of the one cannibal movie, and he just went to the bathroom like a weirdo.
He's excited by the pig sex.
Oh, God.
Nice.
And then I think what killed me the most in Cannibal Holocaust was they killed actual animals. They actually killed animals. That was... No, it wasn't. And they focused on it. Like, the camera they would have the scene where, like, they killed a turtle. Yeah, like a real, actual living turtle. And the camera just kind of stayed on the turtle the whole time. Like, they didn't, like... Yeah, it was...
That's not cool.
It was awful. It was awful, yeah. But that's how it was back then, I guess. I don't know.
Different countries, different rules.
Yeah.
Different laws.
Yeah, it was awful.
It's pretty crazy.
I guess that was the point of those movies, was the shock value.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Probably the most exciting thing I did is I watched old television serials.
Oh!
That I found at Kmart with your help, actually.
Ah, that's right.
So Captain Rocky Jones.
Captain Rocky Jones.
The most horribly sexist hero from the 50s.
Did you still call him a hero if he was sexist?
He was terrible.
Leave it to dames.
Yeah, I watched the first episode, and his boss and his sidekick, both
male.
He gets told that he's going to have a female crew member. and a crew member. They're not sexist at all for the 50s. It was kind of refreshing, right?
Yeah.
And they're basically like, she's going to be on your ship. She's a translator. She knows all these languages. She can do this. She can do that. Going to be a good addition to the crew. What's Rocky's answer? I don't know, Chief. She's a woman or a girl. Not even a woman.
Yeah.
She's a girl. Right? Even his sidekick's like, come on, Rock, don't be so tough on her. She's a good dame or something like that. He's like, I don't know, Winky.
Yeah.
I would rather have two fists on board. They seem to be better at solving problems or something like that. I'm thinking, oh my God, like he is so bad. Like
It could have been worse.
So then she shows up. She comes into the bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first thing out of his mouth is like, hey, why don't you go back and knit me something? Like, oh my God. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad. And then what's shocking, what's funny about that is she gives him a smart ass comment about basically going to strangle him to death.
Yeah.
With whatever she knits. And then they go to the next scene, she's actually trying to knit something. I'm like, what the heck? It was pretty bad.
Wow.
But she did end up as part of the crew, and he begrudgingly accepted her. But I was just like, wow. Everybody is for this woman being part of the crew because of her skills and her genuine contribution, which arguably is progressive for the 50s anyway.
So when they introduced
the captain is the exact opposite.
Oh, okay.
It's not because of her skills. It's because she's a girl.
So when they introduce her, did they
this
not
is
know
the hero, by the way. This is the main protagonist.
Did they not know she's a girl until she comes in? Until she walks in?
No, he knows. The chief tells him right away, like, "Oh, Vina's going to be your navigator," and he's like, "What? A woman?" Like,
there's no.
I'm sorry, a girl.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It could have been worse. He could have said a lot worse.
Yeah, he could have.
A girl, but there's no kitchen on board my ship, Cap. You know that.
Yeah.
That
was my big excitement. So haven't seen Cap 2 yet. Nothing like that.
Oh, we're gonna go see Cap 2 tomorrow. Yeah. I heard a lot of good stuff about Cap 2. So
yeah. But other than that, just getting up on stuff.
I bought the same one, so I'm gonna watch that too.
Oh, that's right, you did buy the same.
To see how worse it gets. Anyway,
cool.
This is a little change from what we usually do, but we're gonna have our nerd news right now.
Jumping right into
nerd news. You want to go ahead and start?
I will start.
Please do.
Lorenzo Semple Jr. dead at 91 years old.
Oh.
If you don't know who that is, he arguably did more to popularize Batman than anyone else in the character's 75-year history. The man who created the beloved 1960s Batman TV show died 1 week ago last Friday of natural causes in his home in Los Angeles, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Quote, I think Batman was the best thing I ever wrote, including those big movies, end quote, Semple said in a 2008 interview. Now, you may think like, well, what the heck did he do other than Batman? He actually did quite a few things. He wrote for the show Rat Patrol, Green Hornet. He wrote the movie in the 80s, which arguably isn't very good, Sheena. He actually wrote 3 Days of the Condor with Robert Redford and the popular 1980s Flash Gordon with Sam Jones and, Max von Sydow, as well as Papillon with Dustin Hoffman and Steve McQueen. So this guy's no slouch.
Right.
And he said Batman 66
He's got more than just Batman.
Was the best thing he ever wrote. That's what he said in his own words.
I love Batman 66.
Yeah, so sadly he passed away, but he was no kid. It wasn't like he didn't live a full life, so it's so.
That sucks.
To you, Luis?
That sucks. Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn revealed that Star Wars Episode 7 is already filming despite the lack of a complete cast. Horn said that the cast is almost complete and the script is where it needed to be now. Star Wars Episode 7 opens December 18th, 2015. It's a short story, I know, but I figured I should tell.
They're rushing it.
Wow.
I want you to know that they're rushing it, yeah. They don't even have the whole cast, and here they go.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
All right. As you know, this was a couple weeks ago now. Dave Brockie, who was Gwar's Odorous Orungus, died at age 50. Singer and mastermind behind the shock rock innovators Gwar died at age 50, and that was reported by Style Weekly, and it was confirmed by Richmond, Virginia police a couple weeks ago that he was found in his apartment.
That's sad. Too many deaths.
Yeah. They were in autopsies planned, but oddly enough, for being over 2 weeks ago, no new news has come out yet. But we did get a quote from Jack Flanagan, issued the following statement. Quote, it is with a saddened heart that I confirm my dear friend Dave Brockie, artist, musician, and lead singer of Gwar, passed away at approximately 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, March 23rd, 2014. His body was found Sunday by his bandmate at his home in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond authorities have confirmed his death, and next of kin has been notified. A full autopsy will be performed. He was 50 years old, born August 30th, 1963. So, end quote. And so Gwar, a lot of people just thought they were that crazy band jumping around in costumes and singing about really perverse material. But really, when you listen to their lyrics and you kind of got what they were into, it was all parody, and they were kind of criticizing a lot of things, and they were actually pretty. There's a lot of underlying subtext there that was really very clever.
So I'll just have to start listening to Gwar. I never really listened to Gwar songs.
But sadly, even a few weeks later, we still have no news as to why he died. Back to you, Luis.
Sci-Fi has given the green light for the Wil Wheaton Project. Wil Wheaton, a weekly topical comedy show hosted by Wil Wheaton, of all people.
Nice.
The series has been picked up for 12 episodes and will explore, quote, all things within the realm of science fiction and genre entertainment. Wheaton will provide his own take on the week's most popular trending topics across science fiction, film, television, and pop culture, video games, viral videos, and news. Sci-Fi president Dave Howe, I hope that's how you say it, said Wil Wheaton's rock star status within the genre fan base, along with his insatiable passion for all things pop culture, will make him an ideal arbiter of what's hot and what's not in the genre space. Will's legion of fans will relish his wry sense of humor and sharp wit, coupled with his unique commentary on the most popular genre entertainment out there. Added Wheaton of the announcement, the Wil Wheaton Project has been incredibly fun to develop, and I can't wait for my fellow geeks to see it. The first episode will debut Tuesday, May 27th at 10 p.m. on Sci-Fi.
Nice.
Right.
If you're still watching Sci-Fi.
Yeah. Is anybody still watching Sci-Fi?
Or maybe this will bring him back to Sci-Fi, huh?
Yeah. Alien Isolation. I've talked about this game a couple times already. They've finally announced a release date. Finally. Sega has announced it will be released on October 7th, 2014. So
just in time for Halloween?
Not too long to wait. Yep. Survival horror shooter will be available globally on PS4, Xbox One, PS3, Xbox 360, and personal computer from that date. Alien Isolation, if you don't know, which you probably should by this point, is a first-person survival horror game, and development team wants to capture the essence of Ridley Scott's 1979 classic as players are tasked with evading the xenomorph threat on the outer fringes of space.
God, that movie scared me when I was a kid.
And I watched it again recently, too, and it was...
Still holds up?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
It was good. Yeah.
There's no surviving this game.
Production of Marvel's The Avengers Age of Ultron set up shop in Seoul. A lot of S's. Set up shop in Seoul, South Korea, this past weekend, during which time a dead boy was found on the grounds of the set. Neighbor says Avengers 2 was shooting at Mapo Bridge, the first time the bridge had ever been closed for the filming of a movie, prompting director Joss Whedon to publicly apologize to the citizens for causing traffic delays, during which time a security guard reportedly found a dead body floating in the water under the bridge.
That's actually pretty terrible.
It is. Mapo Bridge is apparently an infamous suicide spot in Seoul, and police reportedly believe the deceased had died about 2 weeks prior to its discovery. So just kind of died, and then he kind of started floating down the...
That's sad.
It is sad.
These news stories are depressing.
They are. Well, it's about
to come on, Alien Isolation.
Yeah. Rumors are floating that 1980s comedy movie Police Academy might be making a comeback. New Line Cinema.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.
But there might be a silver lining.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
What is it?
New Line Cinema has been planning a reboot of the comedy since 2010.
That's not so.
Has been stuck in development hell. But now, IndieWire shared a rumor that Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, best known for the comedy sketch show Key and Peele, may be involved with the remake in producing and maybe starring capacities.
That could be a silver lining.
I love that show. That show's hilarious. Race of Zombies, awesome.
Yeah.
Race of Zombie, hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
Race of Zombie and all the
German expressionism and some shit.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
It's still a rumor, and the last update on the project was in 2012 when New Line hired Scott Zabielski to direct, but at this rate we won't see a new film added to the Police Academy's library for at least a few years, so whether or not it happens.
Cool.
And last but not least, well, you wanted happier news. This is sunnier news. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia will continue for 2 more seasons beyond the upcoming 10th season. FX has signed a deal with Always Sunny production house RCG Productions, which includes a 2-year renewal of the comedy. Deadline reports that this comes from a 3-year contract with Rob McElhenney, I hope that's how you say it, Charlie Day, and Glenn Howerton, guaranteeing them seasons 11 and 12 of Always Sunny, and a new series starring Tracy Morgan that they will produce. With 12 seasons, Always Sunny will tie My Three Sons for the second longest-running live-action comedy, and it will take the title of longest-running live-action comedy on cable.
Wow, I did not realize that.
See, best thing.
I haven't realized it's been on for that long.
I hadn't either.
It's been on for a while. FX's Nick Grad said, Rob McElhenney, Charlie Day, and Glenn Howerton are three of the most talented comedy writers and producers in our business. Not to mention very gifted actors. This deal is a testament to their skill, intelligence, and work ethic, which combine to earn them one of the best overall deals in TV. Not bad for three guys who shot a pilot 10 years ago for $200 and a few pizzas.
Yeah, no kidding.
Season 10, meanwhile, will be delayed, launching in January instead of this fall. So,
okay.
And that's the end of Nerd News.
All right.
See, I love Always Sunny,
All right.
but over time they're getting less really funny episodes they used to have.
Right. It's still a funny show.
Yeah,
I think it's still
funny,
consistently funny. So
every other episode, like, okay, this is not funny.
All right. Well, you want to take a break?
Yep.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll bring in Ken and Dan.
We'll have our guests.
Yep.
For the best in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, head to the Sci-Fi Center. For comic books, toys, posters, and gifts, we're located at 600 East Sahara Avenue, Suite number 13. That's right off of Sahara and 6th Street, behind the Murray calendars. Go to www.thescificenter.com or call the Geek hotline at 702-792-GEEK, 702-792-4335.
Rod Rosdower here, but you can call me Rocket. After a hard day of saving the universe, I like to sit back, pop a cold one, and listen to the Geek Lounge.
The Geek Lounge? Oh boy, turn it on, Rocket.
I told you only my friends call me Rocket.
Sorry, Rod.
No, I'm Captain Rosdower to you, Space Cadet.
Sorry, Captain.
Anyway, join Luis and Adam as they navigate through the world of comics, movies, games of both the video and tabletop variety, and so much more.
Golly, let's listen to the Geek Lounge right now.
Are you still here? Don't you have Holonet in your own room?
The captain's right. Join us for a new episode of the Geek Lounge every week. We'll see you there.
Greetings, Legionnaires. This is Munch.
And this is Luis. We want to thank you, our listeners, for making us one of the top downloaded shows on this station by giving you
$1 million.
No. By giving you our sincerest thanks.
Oh, yeah, that's much cheaper.
Don't forget to keep listening to our show every Sunday at 4 p.m.
And to download all our archives at biggestallnetradio.com.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook at The Geek Lounge and on Twitter at Geek_Lounge.
In transmission.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Geek Lounge. If you want to follow us while we're talking, you can do so on Facebook at The Geek Lounge or on Twitter at Geek_Lounge. And, of course, you can listen to our archives
Facebook.
at VegasAllNetRadio.com. This episode is brought to you by the Sci-Fi Center. The Sci-Fi Center does many screenings of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. If you have any questions, you can find them at 600 East Sahara Avenue, Suite 13, or you can call them at 702-792-4335.
All right.
All right, so we have our guests in studio.
Correct. I'm going to introduce, first of all, Daniel Blodgett.
Who has been on here before.
Yes, that's true. He has published many independent comics, as well as artist and art editor for my very own Avenger Red comic book, and several other projects, which we're going to talk about very soon. Welcome, Daniel.
Thanks for having me.
Woo! We should have had an audience ready. Woo!
Yeah. And we also have Ken Lemoog, which is he wrote and created the art for the children's book A Box Story, which has won the Pinnacle Books Award winner for 2012 for children's interests. Also was a 2012 Children's Book Award finalist and selected for Literary Classic Seal of Approval in March of 2012, as well as some new projects, which we're also going to talk about today. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Is he the first award winner we've ever had on this show?
I believe so. I believe so, yes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. yes, quite.
Very cool. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Listen up, man. You guys.
Yeah.
No.
Sure, guys, please have fun. We're here to have fun. We're having a good time and inform people.
So what have you been up to? What have you been up to, Dan?
Me?
Yes.
Since we last talked to you.
I know you guys did Tales from Las Vegas together, right?
Tales from Las Vegas.
Yes.
Lost to Vegas.
Lost Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Locally produced comic book.
Yes. It was one of those ones where they wanted to get new artists that haven't been on the book previously.
Yeah.
I know they had more than what they intended on. And in fact, I don't know if you did additional pages, did you?
Yeah, I did additional pages.
Yeah, they
for it.
contacted us later and said, yeah, some people didn't really follow through. So could you do these extra pages? So I was like,
So was it
Sure.
just you two on the book, or?
no, it was me, Jessica, I can't remember her last name.
That's all right.
You should have brought the comic book.
Awkward.
It's gonna suck for her. She's listening. Like that.
And there was another one.
Steve, I believe.
Steve,
And then Ken, you did the cover and you did some interior art.
Yep, I did some bonus posters as well for the Kickstarter. So,
Very cool.
Yeah.
And
Nope.
you did a bunch of the interior art, right?
I think my total was, believe, 12 or 13 pages. So,
Cool.
I mean, it's a 56-page book, so I had a good portion of it.
Yeah.
I think you did about the same number.
Yeah.
If not
Okay,
more.
cool.
Now, for people who haven't read the book, what is the book about exactly? Is it an anthology or?
Well, no, what it is it's say like a story. It's one of those stories where you have these three kids that are friends in school, and one friend is like, oh, hey, there's this like drain, this big hole.
Storm drain or?
Yeah, like a storm drain, and they go into it and they find this like underground cavern, and they find like these this one door that's, I think, they
Yeah, it
come
was-
back to it, but they leave and come back. But
Yeah.
it's generally, I think he opens it or it was open or something like that. I can't remember right now, but
Yeah,
that's
there's all these technology underground, and it was robotic Howard Hughes.
got a Howard Hughes.
Yeah, that's in there. And
Wow.
And he's basically a head. It's like it's like the Futurama.
He's head in
how
a
they-
jar with a robot body.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
And then this, Howard Hughes and all of his germaphobe
Yeah.
Tendencies.
tendencies
Gotcha.
play into the rest of the story, and
Oh, okay.
then the end. So,
Nice.
but no, it was a good experience to work with others, and I hadn't worked previously with Pop Goes the Icon, so it's PJ Perez.
Yeah, another local guy. He
Local guy.
does
Yeah,
work
local.
on the weekly, right? Las Vegas Weekly.
I'm not sure of his credentials right now, but I know he has done. I think
He's, I think, various
Stuff on the
publications. So,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, he's done a lot of different stuff. But
Cool.
Mostly writing, yeah. But no, they do have they have a print press now for if like there was a local comic book group or whatever that put together a book. He now has the ability to quote them printing and do print for them.
Oh, really?
I can't remember the business now. If you follow Pop Goes the Icon, you could probably find
It's called Creative Forge.
Creative Force. that's
Yeah,
right.
and I'm actually meeting up with him hopefully this week. Talking,
very cool.
Yeah, talk about printing stuff.
Yeah,
so.
And we're going to talk about your new project?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
cool. We're going to talk about that in a little while, too. But
Yeah, I think the good thing about it though is because as well as
Yeah.
I do that when you order books online,
Yeah.
the one of the main thing that eats up on your costs and your overhead is the freaking shipping. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he can print it here, and you go down, drive down, pick it up.
Yeah.
And that, hopefully that'll save us independent guys, a few bucks.
Yeah.
Well, I know that one of the previous people on here, Free Isabella, he did his. I had told him about it.
Did you do them through him?
Yeah, I had told him, hey, if you want to save a little bit of money, contact PJ and see what he can do for you.
Yeah.
And PJ's actually posted up on the Creative Forge Facebook pictures of him, that he printed his book. So obviously he went through.
Oh, okay, cool. Very
and
cool.
He probably saved some money on it. So
Yeah, very cool.
good deal.
I did not know that. Very cool. So, Ken, tell us about A Box Story. Because that actually looks really cool. I was looking at it on Amazon.
Yeah, A Box Story is basically it's a children's picture book. So it has. I've shown it to different people, and it is a children's book. But a lot of people who've read it said that it has more of a mature content in it, just because of the fact that it's kind of deeper for kids. It's basically the plot or the main idea is. A box it could be empty or it could be something in there, and it's up to you, the person, to shape what you want the contents of that box to be.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's I've met people just like this past weekend going to the Children's Writers Book Association here in town, and people I've talked to, they're like, "Whoa, got this book. I didn't know you wrote it, and it's actually something that I really like. So it's it's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And just looking at Amazon.com, and it is available on Amazon.com, by the way.
Please do go get it.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually,
Yes.
I already have it on my list. I'm going to probably pick that up later.
Thank you.
And that is simply a box story, just like it sounds, by Kenneth Kit Lamug, and it's published by Rabbleboy. Oh, no, that's the illustrator. I'm sorry. Published by, where is it? I just have
Rabblebox.
Rabblebox.
Yeah,
There you go.
Rabbleboy is my alter ego. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So, yes, you wrote and did the art on it.
yes.
And let's just read a couple of these because they're pretty cool, actually. The top review, gentle, comforting, and thought-provoking. I bought this book because I'm a great fan of Kenneth Lamug's drawings, and they did not let me down. Whimsical, lovely, and hilarious. I mean, that's pretty cool, yeah. This is making me tear up. Whimsical, fun, and intelligently written. That's another one. Everything imaginable with a plain brown box. And I mean, just a lot of good reviews. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
When you're talking about any site that takes like Metacritic reviews, or at least a collection of critics, you have almost all 5 stars and only a few 4 stars and nothing below that. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Let's go beat up those 4 stars.
They're like the 1 out of 5 dentists who can't agree on anything.
Kept away the haters
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
I was looking at some of the drawings that you had brought in.
Yes.
And there's just, I really like them because there's just something so joyously macabre about them. You know what I mean? Like I guess if you could say that,
joyously macabre,
That's,
right?
that's better than the way that I was describing it.
happy scary.
We'll
It's
use
happy
that.
scary.
We'll use that.
Okay, good. Oh yeah,
Joyously macabre.
you can take my blurb and put it on the book if you
Okay.
want.
That'll
I'll
be
use
on
that
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I drew when I was a kid, and I stopped it for a while. There was, like your parents. There's no future in illustration and drawing. You got to find a real job, And so I kind of did that. Stayed away from anything illustration art-wise, and just a few years back, I kind of got back into it slowly.
Okay.
And yeah, Edward Gorey, one of my
right.
one of my favorite inspiration, and I found this this website. It's called Underneath the Juniper Tree, and they feature writers and illustrators who like to tell macabre horror stories for kids.
Nice.
So that kind of pulled me into it. That's kind of my
What's that
thing.
called? I got to write that down.
So it's called Underneath the Juniper Tree.
Underneath, I got to write that down.
Yeah, and we did Indiegogo. We got a published book from all their issues. So
Cool.
yeah, so it's pretty cool, and that kind of got me back into it. And now I'm doing the comics. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Dan, so what's going on with you, man?
Most of my time has been spent on really 2 different projects. I've been doing a while back. There was a Kickstarter. When I say a while back, it's a while back. No, there was a Kickstarter for a book called Super.
Yes.
And it's a local book, but what happened is when they started, they had a person doing the color art.
Correct,
And the color art for the first book was finished. But, as you know, for sometimes color artists are far and in between.
Yeah.
And Justin actually acquired 2 more color artists to do color art for the book. And they also just kind of disappeared.
Oh, wow.
And in the meantime, between that year span or whatever, I've actually learned
how to color, yeah.
Well, not necessarily color, but improve on what my previous pathetic color attempts.
So what you're telling me is you cut your teeth on my book.
Yes. When I was done with that book, I did not want to do coloring.
Which is great. It's a magnificent book. It's a wonderful book.
I was like, oh hell no. But no. What I did was, at first I told him, I said, okay, you know what? I want to see this book get done. Because I know that, you got the funding, the art's done, it's just the color work. So I started helping with flats. Well, in the meantime,
I remember that, yeah.
After I did so many flats, he's like, all right, well, let's sign a contract and get you to start doing pages.
Cool.
And I did a sample page from issue 5, which now I'm currently coloring 4, but I did it from 5, and he was like, that's good enough for me. So
Easy editor, right? I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Not a
writer,
higher praise
editor,
from an editor.
and and I'm one of the crew, the friends and everything, so it works out.
Yeah.
So I've been doing colors for that, and I'm also doing.
You guys approach it really realistically. I mean, I know you guys are all friends, Graham and
Yeah,
Justin, but
but
you guys
you
have a good relationship, even professionally. You guys can tell each other, man, that's not your best. That needs to get better.
And you know what? And
that's important.
And they have. And I have to take a step back. And go, you're right. and then trying to change it up because if I send him some color work, he's like, no, the color should be coming from a totally different angle, and I'm thinking, I spent hours on that thing, jerk. No, I know, but I'll go change it, and it ends up looking better, which is all part of the process. But
and it's important to have that relationship.
It's an extremely long book. He wrote issues like. There's 6 issues. Some of the issues are 30 pages long.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
gosh, he's like George Perez on the first issue of Superman.
Yeah,
he wrote and drew it.
So I'm coloring this. I'm like, every once in a while, I look for an update. I'm like, how much further do we gotta go? This is driving me wild. But I would really like to eventually do color art professionally.
Oh, cool.
I think that it's something that I could take with me anywhere I go.
Yeah,
if I have to move even overseas, I could still be doing color art online for a company here.
Especially with the way when you see how things are going too. I mean, everything's digital. I mean,
everything's digital.
And coloring. I mean, I know you and I both, we look at colorists out there, and you even look at professional comic books. There's a lot of them where they're there's a drought of colorists.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are not very well colored.
And I think I could, like a lot of comic book artists, they still have a full-time job, and I think I could pull it off.
Yeah.
I've been doing my own personal upgrades. I'd like to get, Ken here has a Cintiq, which I obviously cannot afford
at this time.
They're
Monoprice. I got it on sale.
Monoprice has a knockoff for $400, which I'd like to acquire someday, but I don't have said $400 saved up.
Yeah.
But I'll get there. And there's another project I'm working on that I will eventually turn into a graphic novel when we get to that point, but I've been doing the character designs.
Yeah, that's right.
And the cool thing is like, okay, if I do the character designs and all of a sudden he decides, I like all these, but I want another guy drawing the book, that's totally cool. We don't have a contract for that. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So he could
very professional of you.
Yeah, and he could take my character designs and work with someone else on it, and that, hey, I did my part. I fulfilled my contract, and that's how it works.
Very cool.
Well, you've been drawing for how long?
Oh, forever.
And now you just started coloring. How do you equate drawing to coloring? Is it do you like one better than the other, or would you prefer to do them both? Or?
I think in order to be a really excellent color artist, you need to know how to draw.
Right.
Because you need to know where. No, seriously. No, I know. You need to know where light hits and how it moves around the body, and when you draw, sometimes you have to shade all that in, and if you're coloring, you don't understand if light's hitting this side of the face, that it'll hit a little tip of the nose. You're going to miss that. So I found myself that it has been extremely beneficial to my color art to know how to draw.
Or at least be able to understand the art in 3 dimensions. At least that's my challenge.
But there's always more to learn, like color theory and color palettes and what works well together.
Making palettes and gamuts and all that stuff.
Yeah, like, whether it's a hot scene or, whether the scene is really cold, whether to use blues and everything. So, I'm getting there. You
become more valuable. You draw and you color. I mean, that's...
Well, and you can do it digitally.
Yeah. And I bet in Super there was one page where I went back to Justin and I said, this is wrong. Don't worry, I fixed it. They were freaking out. They were like, what? And then I sent him the before and after, and he goes, yeah.
What? And then
I even did that with my stuff before.
It was straight lines. It was just going up, and then one of the lines was just totally cockeyed, and it was supposed to be like part of an architecture, and I said, no. And I just kind of went in with Photoshop and just moved it, and
done.
And it was done. But
and I know you did that with our book too.
When I showed it to them, they went, "Oh, okay." And I do that to my own art too, because sometimes you don't see your mistakes until it's on the screen or printed off on a page.
Right. What the hell
you could
is
probably
that?
vouch for that too.
Oh yeah.
You print it off and you go, "Ooh."
I just saw one the other day.
Yeah. You're like, wait a second, how'd that end up there?
We're our worst critics, so.
So. Do you have a website or Facebook? Or I know you're with the ACC Artist Comic Collective.
Yeah. I do have my own Facebook, Get Comics, but it's GETT. I also have, Get Comics Blogspot. But I think if anybody wants to actually see my artwork, it'd be best to see my deviant art, which would be Daniel Get, which is my name.
GETT again.
Yeah, Daniel, but GETT. And you go there, you can pretty much check out everything that I've been doing, sketches, color work, ink, and so forth. And that's probably the best way to see everything I can at least put out there right now, because a lot of the stuff I've been doing, I can't, or I don't feel comfortable with sharing with the world because it's really not mine ultimately.
Right.
And Ken, how can people look at what you got going on?
You can find it at rabbleboy.com.
Rabbleboy, just
Yeah.
like it sounds, right?
Yep, Rabbleboy, and that's basically everything links from that site. So,
Oh, very cool.
I'm on it right now.
Are you on
Actually, it's got a lot of your drawings on
Are you
here.
on
which-
Facebook or?
yeah, facebook.com/Rabbleboy.
Cool, very
Yep.
cool. You got any more questions before we move on to their current projects, or at least Ken's current projects? Because I know Ken's got a big one. Yeah, and we're going to give you lots of time to talk about it.
Yeah, let's take a
it's
break.
cool. It's really cool.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll ask them about their current projects.
Cool.
Okay?
All right.
See you in a bit.
For the best in science fiction, fantasy, and horror, head to the Sci-Fi Center. For comic books, toys, posters, and gifts, we're located at 600 East Sahara Avenue, Suite number 13. That's right off of Sahara and 6th Street, behind the Marie Calendars. Go to www.thescificenter.com or call the Geek hotline at 702-792-GEEK, 702-792-4335.
Hi, I'm Luis.
And I'm Adam.
When we're not talking to each other about geek-related things,
We're talking about it with you.
so for the very best in...
Oh, hey, I thought we were talking about our show.
Oh, right. Okay, so to hear our take on sci-fi, fantasy, film, games, pop culture, or anything geeky in general, tune in.
Even Tokusatsu?
Even Tokusatsu. And if you don't know what that is, then that's even more of a reason to tune in.
We have new episodes every week for your listening pleasure.
Bam!
Dude, what the heck was that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
Jeez, man. Now you're in the cave of the Blight Dragon. He sees you and begins to rear his head to attack. What do you do?
I draw my mythical blade of Tyrande.
Roll for your attack.
Natural 20, a critical hit.
Keep it down, guys. I'm trying to listen to the Geek Lounge.
The Geek Lounge? What's that?
It's a really awesome show that talks about comics, movies, video games, and all things geek related.
Do they make fun of blatant stereotypes like us?
Nah, they're pretty cool. They even taught me how to get girls.
Did they really?
No, but I bet they get a lot of girls.
That's right, Cecil. We do. Ah, who's that?
It's Adam from the Geek Lounge.
Yep, that's me. Tune in every week for new episodes as Luis and I discuss geekdom, pop culture, and everything in between.
If I listen, will you get out of my house?
Is there any Mountain Dew in that fridge?
I only have 2 left.
Tune in every week.
My Mountain Dew!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Geek Lounge. Once again, if you want to join in on the conversation, you can do so on our Facebook at Geek Lounge or on Twitter at Geek_Lounge, and you can find our archives at VegasAllNetRadio.com. We're back with Dan Blodgett and Ken Lamug, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm pretty sure I butchered
It works.
Lamug.
Lamug, I'm sorry, Lamug. Ken, what are you working on right now?
What I'm working on right now is called The Tall Tales of Talbot Toluca.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's I kind of got bit by the comic book bug. So I'm working on it's a comic book, but it's a hybrid that has Where's Waldo elements, puzzle elements.
Right.
You know, I've always been into puzzle trivia. You know,
very cool.
Yeah, optical illusions, stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to like mash that all in here, and yeah.
And you've shown us some art for that, and that looks really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
It.
Thank
It's
you.
really cool, yeah. And that can more information be found on your website, or is that still kind of not out there yet? Or?
It's on TalbotToluca.com. TalbotToluca.com.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you get a link from your site, Rabbleboy.com as
Yep,
well, right?
it's
Okay.
linked there. So
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
And how's that going for you? How's that working out?
it's working out real well. It's a lot of work. One of these, spreads that look like Where's Waldo takes up to a month to draw and to color.
Wow.
So, considering I've got a regular job and, having family and kids and all that stuff. So I'm just trying to make it all work.
Now, is that all digital or?
Yeah, it's all digital.
Now, how big, if you were to print it out, how big, you know what I mean? How big would one of those pages be?
I'm working on 600 DPI right now.
I have no idea what that means.
I do.
Yeah.
Dots per inch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I now know what that means.
So you could probably print it,
Be poster size.
Yeah, could be pretty nice
like
print.
3 by 2.5 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't have felt as dumb if he just said poster size. Yeah. DPI.
It's about this big.
It's about this big.
It's this big. Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand now.
Yeah.
I get it now.
For our radio listeners, that's the size of a sheep. No, just kidding. I don't know where that came from. The stupid cannibal movie you were talking about earlier.
That was a pig, dude, not a sheep.
Completely different.
Completely different.
Okay, so
I don't know if you guys heard earlier
Talbot
we were talking
to
about.
Luca.
That's why.
Talbot to Luca.
Yeah, it's the story's kind of pretty simple, I guess. It's a bunch of friends that discover this secret military base underneath their school.
Nice.
And they find out there's this scientist that's actually their science professor who's been kind of keeping this under wraps and make sure nobody finds out about it. And
is it like Dexter's Lab grown up?
And it unravels a lot of different things. And the funny thing is, it's kind of something that when I was back in school, when I was a kid, it was the school that I went to was a Catholic school, and it was below street level. The classrooms are. Mm-hmm. So
that's
you'd go down the end of this one hallway, and it was pitch black.
Wow.
Ooh. So all the kids were kind of scared walking down, and I had this digital watch that, I don't know, it got wet or something. It wasn't working right.
Yeah.
But every time I would walk down this hallway, the little, numbers would flash on it. So I was like, what's going on in this hallway? There's something here. Yeah. So I had my own PKE meter back then,
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the inspiration.
Yeah, that was part of it. So
The hidden things beneath the school.
Is that where you got the idea that there's like a ghost? It's like, write about this. Write about it.
It's... Back then, they called in the Philippines. It was they called the lady a white lady because she all wore white, and she would haunt you. And being that it was a Catholic school and there was a church there, so there's a lot of these superstitions and all these things going on. So
Gotcha.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So other than Super, what's going on with you, man?
I've been working on pretty much projects for everyone else that I can think of, or anybody else I've incorporated with. But what I intend on doing is just taking a lot of the comics that I've worked on, maybe throw something else on the end, but taking them all and just compiling them into a free download of some kind. I currently have one of my books up on Drive-Thru Comics. But I find it that,
That's Frick Frack, right?
Yeah, but you have to go on, you have to create a profile.
It's a whole thing.
And if you're not over 18, it's like you can only see certain stuff, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. I just want to just put it up on a page and be like, all right, here, download it. I don't care anymore. I mean, I did this, I did my part, I made a few bucks, and here you go.
Yeah. And if it's good, it's good.
Enjoy
it's gonna,
it.
It is.
It's going to find its own
Frick
life.
Frack and Jack was funny. I enjoyed Frick Frack.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
It
was. I was going through a humorous time.
Maybe Pixar could make it into a movie.
Well, hey.
DreamWorks presents Frick Frack and Jack.
Adam who?
Wow. I see how it is.
that was fast.
Wow. That sounds like my plan for Hollywood. If I ever get famous, I'm just going to forget everyone.
Who are you again?
It's me, Adam. Who?
AC what?
You can check in with my with the guy at the front gate.
Nice. I think I know his name.
See if I buzz you in.
Mr. Blodgett says he does not recognize you. Please leave the premises immediately.
Nice.
No, but that's about it right now. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know you're a workhorse.
I'm always trying to keep busy because I like to grow and learn more. And
You're like a jack of all trades. You seem to know a little bit about everything, huh?
Well, for the longest time, even when I was a kid, it was something I wanted to get into, but I didn't get into it traditionally like everybody else. I got into it by reading like Cracked magazine and buying Garbage Pail Kids, and everybody else like, I read Superman. I'm just like, I read some really warped crap, like right away from the get-go. So, it's just tainted me, I guess, in the right way.
Oh, okay. There you go. Ken, I know.
Tainted in the right way.
Edward Gorey was a big influence for you. How about some other ones? You got any other ones? Or Garbage Pail Kids as well?
Choose Your Own Adventure books.
Nice.
Does that count?
Yeah.
That's what I was hooked into. And this was back in the Philippines. We didn't have access to a lot of comic books.
Yeah.
I know Image. I've seen a lot of those, a lot of the comics, surprisingly, if you look this up online, the name it's called Tex, Teks.
Yeah.
It's basically turning panels from comic books into playing cards. It's kind of like the size, half of a business card size.
Huh.
Yeah, and this was really
little
popular.
cards?
Yeah, little cards.
Yeah,
So it would have a panel of a comic book in there. So you would collect all these Batman panels. You know, and kids would trade them, and they were super cheap, low cost. You know, when they printed them, the colors wouldn't line up with the ink, the black, and everything was messed up. And that's kind of what I grew up with when I was a kid. So yeah.
And that was I don't remember anything. Do you remember anything like that?
No, but that sounds pretty darn cool.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of the a lot of the stuff here didn't transfer over to the third world. So.
I lived in the middle of Nebraska, so
yeah, he was in the third world.
Okay.
Fourth world.
I had to travel 22 miles.
Kirby's fourth world.
I had to travel 22 miles to get to a comic book store.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yeah. That sounds awful.
Well, when you're 13, it's not like I'm,
you poor man
driving there.
That's how I feel sorry for people. I didn't have enough money to eat. That sucks. I was 22 miles away from a comic book store. Oh, you poor person, come here.
Let me give you a hug.
But now with digital, I mean, if you want it, you get it.
Everybody has access.
Yeah, everybody.
Right.
Even if you're a handicap.
Yep.
Digital is the way to go. Yeah. You can't get out.
As long as you have a computer or a tablet or your phone.
Yeah. I still think, with comics, at least for me, I still think it struggles on how to view comics digitally. I don't quite, you know what I mean? If it's not made specifically for digital.
It works for some, it works for others.
Yeah, I guess. Because they're still made for that standard print style, you know what I mean?
I personally prefer to just go to brick and mortar stores anyway and pick up solid. I have to have solid copies of things. Like I can't have like a digital movie and I can't have a digital comic. I have to be able to hold it.
Well, it depends on your life too. If you're literally a nomad, there's no way you can haul around comics with you everywhere.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
That's where you're wrong. That's where
you have 1,000 comics on an iPad. So
I panhandle for my storage unit.
You've never seen me at the DMV. Gigantic backpack full of comics.
Panhandle for my climate-controlled storage unit. Has all my comics.
You have one? Can I use it?
It's already full of comics.
Oh.
Actually, got other guys' comics in there too. Other people's comics.
Yeah, I guess my comics aren't good enough.
I should charge them. I don't think you'll fit. The thing's full now.
Yeah, whatever. I'm already mad at you.
All right, so...
where can they, real quick, once again, where can they find you, Dan?
One more time.
Facebook, I have a blog spot, and on DeviantArt under Daniel Gett.
Daniel Gett, G-E-T-T?
Yeah, and it's the same thing
on Get Comics, G-E-T-T?
Yeah, G-E-T-T. It's, cool. Like as in Go Get Comics.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
You just pull up Daniel Blodgett on Twitter and Facebook, and they'll be able to find you there.
Oh, yeah, if you just do a search, you're going to find me.
And then, Ken, you have two spots, right?
You're going to find me.
I've searched myself.
You can just find me on Rabbleboy.com.
Rabbleboy.com, and then there's also... The Tales of... No, wait, that's not the website.
Just go to Rabbleboy. You'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find
links
all the
to everything.
Links
to everything.
Yeah.
I found it.
And check out the new project Ken's working on because it looks really cool. The artwork's really
It'll be on
really
Kickstarter soon. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Kickstarter.
Nice.
Cool. So go donate whenever he...
Exactly.
We'll try to keep you guys updated on that, and then we can go donate.
Yes, definitely. And then through the ACC as well, we'll keep everybody updated on that.
Oh, yeah.
So, very cool.
And anybody can just order, real quick, anybody just order from your website any of your books?
Yeah, everything's linked up there.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, saw a box story on Amazon. Yeah. And his book that he did write is called A Box Story. So, like I said before, it looks very, very cool. Got a lot of good reviews on it, so that's very good.
Okay, Dan, Ken, thanks for being here, guys.
You guys.
We'll love to have you again.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Now, guys, please join us next week. Right? Next week we're here?
Yeah, next week
we will be here. And remember, it is during our failures that we discover our true desire for success.
All right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.